looks like we are good to go.
Let's
go ahead and count down our other half of top 8. Here we go in
3, 2, 1, Tetris.
So up top, we're gonna have Fractal versus Dog. Down at the bottom, Andy versus AvGeek.
And good improvisation on our production team. They couldn't get the seed working for Fractal Stations. They just put it in his name.
That's 6.Fractal.
Yeah, there we go. And, you know, there's a bit of controversy with the DAS about what constitutes DAS. Is it just holding control with 2 hands? Is it limiting the Hertz inputs on the cartridge? And would quick tapping be allowed? And there's a phrase that came about called the spirit of DAS, which is, in a quick definition, means you play with timing rather than sheer speed. And Fractal there, with that unique grip of that controller, is spirit of DAS and definitely the play style and the timing. But man, what an interesting grip that is.
Yeah.
Anybody playing a Nintendo when I was that age with that grip would have got some chuckles, but he's a world champion. He can do what he wants.
Yeah, I might be misremembering, but I think he said like it feels better on his hands, or it's like more ergonomic for him. So, I mean, if it works, and he's in top 8 right now.
Yeah. I want to see him do that with some other games. Play a little Super Mario Brothers like that, maybe. But back to our matches, very close games all around.
Indeed, separated by a Tetris, or just under Tetris down at the bottom. Andy's going to close that gap. And up top, 140 to 147, running into a small early drought. The player's going to weather it just fine, so Tetrises will be scored.
But look at that, Dog and Andy, 2 and 3 seeds. Just like, what a pair.
Yeah, should both of them win this, we'll get, for the umpteenth time, another Dog versus Andy match.
But in DAS, you know, you would think with Andy does seem to have the slightest advantages, having 1 higher seed than his brother.
Now 220 for Fractal, 180 for Dog. The players up top with some complicated boards to solve. Actually, Dog can set up for the dirty here and makes the adjustment to knock down the dirty.
Going to go for another one? Nope, we're going to burn down the double to go back to a normal board. Fractal looking to replicate that possibly.
Down at the bottom, no, I'm not one to point out Tetris rates too often, but 81
oh my
to
goodness.
97. We're talking about 300,000 before, 320,000 before 60 lines for AvGeek.
There's 2 burns. It's 56 of those lines have been Tetrises.
Well, now it's 3 burns.
Oh, man. Oh.
But still, and Andy's
only behind a half Tetris despite that.
Exactly.
So this is the nicer seed that Alex has concocted for us.
And AV took the triple. See, she's not happy with that.
Yeah, 373,000 at 71 lines. Not happy. That's some championship grit right there.
Minor drought ensuing. Those Z pieces are going to be a little bit tricky to deal with, but doesn't have to wait too long. Tetris is scored for AV, 397 to Andy's 385, and up top 303 to 325. Dog in the lead.
These are some extremely clean boards here in game 1 on both sides. It's going to become a game of who makes the first major mistake.
Indeed. Both players up top going to score a slightly off-sync simul Tetris.
And when I say major mistake, something minor happens, the players clean it up in 1 or 2 lines. And you mentioned the Tetris rate. I mean, it's a little overused, but if they get around 60 to 65%, that's a 1,000,000-point pace.
AvGeek with 516,000 at 102 lines.
That's incredible.
Easily 650 plus territory. I believe our highest transition of the tournament so far was a 676, I believe, from Arctic. That was in our earlier rounds. This
is a heck of a run by AvGeek, but Pixel Andy right on her tail. Like every small dependency. Oh, and this is super high. See what can happen here?
Had to go for a quick tap there and deciding to bring the stack down. That discipline is key.
Yeah.
You could be pacing, you know, it's like, oh, this could be a great game for me.
I'm running hot. This is good.
But then if you play too aggressive, oh, Andy.
Let's see what happens. The transition got him there. Even the best of the best have to readjust. But this difference is down to 3,000 points.
Top, we're also about to reach transition. Fractal 1 Tetris away. Dog, 2 Tetrises possible. Now just 1. AV will transition with a 642.
Wow.
Very powerful.
With the strong head shake.
Dog
a little high up there.
507. Fractal transitions with a 511-ish.
And the line was coming and he didn't score with it.
Is Dog going to go for the spin? No, not going to. There's a spin tuck that's possible there, but you needed that piece in order to perform it. And with that, Fractal is going to take the lead down at the bottom, 648 to now 673. Another Tetris for Andy, takes the lead temporarily as AV has to burn. But Andy is also a level ahead. So in terms of pace, AV has the advantage.
But that lead is shrunk.
Tetris ready is both players down at the bottom. Fractal knocks down Tetris. That's 599 now 526. His Dog is still trying to get things underway. Now there's some massive congestion have formed for Andy.
He was able to get that line all the way to the right, that high up and level 19 DAS. The quick taps are immaculate for Pixel Andy.
Good burns. Did a nice little side relief over there. Fractal almost up to 100,000 point lead, 655 to now 561.
Dog hasn't moved a muscle. He has been stoic.
Down at the bottom, 707 for Andy, 767 for AvGeek. And we are closing in on that 29. However, for Andy in particular, 29 doesn't necessarily mean it's over at 29, but AvGeek doesn't have DAS on the long bar. Lost it. Topped out.
771 chase down.
Andy needs 771. Didn't have any DAS on the long bar. Recognize it and try to place it somewhere where something was manageable, but then just the mental lag having a misdrop of that caliber up that high is incredibly difficult to recover from.
It looked like she was too comfortable, and it's just real easy to just lose your concentration for just that one moment.
6,000 points remain. Up top, 814 for Fractal, 667
Here we go. Oh, wow. That's grown tremendously.
It's almost 150,000 point lead. Fractal waiting on this eyepiece. Doesn't find it, so forced to go for a split double.
Fractal telling himself to let it come.
And Andy's going to be good for game number 1 down at the bottom. But up top, our attention focuses as Fractal nails the quick tap over there to the left, opens up the well, and knocks down the Tetris to go up to 860. Dog at 148 needs Fractal to top out. Only 250,000 points are available in the last 3 levels, and we're already all the way through level 26, now in the level 27.
Fractal pretty much hit the reset button, had a perfectly clean board. He's super excited, 528, he's feeling it.
Another Tetris could be the dagger. And misdrop from Dog.
Fractal feeling it.
No Tetris for Dog. Not going to be able to get 3 Tetrises in. He's going to have to build up for
Is he gonna do
one
29?
on 29 and hope that Fractal tops out right now. Fractal wanting the drought to ensue.
Oh, and that's the top out.
Fractal takes game number 1 with 982 to 818. We do have our start at the bottom. And it was such a powerful game for AvGeek. You know, 640 transition, things were looking fine. And then it's just that one mistake. And depending on how high you are, one mistake is all it takes with DAS.
And it microseconds, and everything will tumble out of control. You lose DAS, you can't get the piece over, and the game's over instantly. The old school traditional style was to keep it under the halfway point, and I know these players are aggressive, and that's why they are in this position in the top 8, but fine-tuning that aggression is the key to winning and advancing in these tournaments. Dialing it just back just slightly when necessary. But a close game again. 16,000 point difference, about a half Tetris. And they've started game 2 up top. Kind of like the staggered starts, because then we can kind of be at different points and not have 4 players at 29 all at once.
Andy gonna set up, and you saw he was kind of considering. He's like, do I take the burn here? Nice adjustment over there from Andy. The gamble paid off. Well is gonna be reopened. Not quite getting the pieces he's looking. Oh wow, what a solve over there from Andy. A hole will be generated, but Tetris is scored. Now the board is back under control. Well, in a position to get in better control, so to speak.
3 burns for 1 more burn will clean that board up for Andy. And AvGeek, I think she was down by 2, so she's down by 1, not back to 2 again, but that sequence for Pixel Andy, not as harmful as you would have thought when it first happened. At the top, Dog.
185 for Dog, 148 for Fractal.
Up by 1.5, and you see our Netstress champs calculating that Tetris difference and flashing the differences back and forth between the score difference and the Tetris difference.
Our players on the right in the lead. 352 for AvGeek, 298 for Pixel Andy, 194 for Fractal, and 235 for Dog.
And AvGeek had Andy on the ropes.
A few more levels of that kind of pace, and it could have been it for Andy.
That's why we do best 3 of 5. Pretty clean at the top here. Fractal's just loving this. Fractal's a joy to watch play.
The Tetris for Fractal goes up to 286. Dog at 327, maintaining the lead. .327 at 66 lines. Well, now 350 at 70 lines. We're looking at a 600K transition.
And AvGeek again in control in the 18 speed, so...
But not too happy with having to burn.
No.
This Tetris for AvGeek goes up to 453. Andy having to take some burns here, so AvGeek will take, or rather extend the lead up by 2 Tetrises.
See, Andy pressing down a bit here. Maybe try to get back into a refocus. Sometimes letting the pieces fall kind of dulls your senses a bit sometimes. Dirty Tetris set up for AvGeek.
1 burn forced out of it. Now that's 3. 4 burns required to get that. That has brought Andy back in contention. And as a matter of fact, Andy has taken the lead, 518 to 508. Up top, 449 to now make that 472 for Dog to now 391 for Fractal.
I mean, simple math. Those 4 single burns, you lost a Tetris.
It's transition for Andy. Yep, 521 to now 532. AV with 2 potentially. Both a board
but
like
this is a very
uncomfortable.
Inspired.
And that L piece is rough. Not a good spot for that. And there's only 1 burn is available.
Up at the top, we're in some danger too for both players.
All right, AvGeek transitions at 557. Needs the eye. Gets it over just barely. And able to get a nice pole vault of the L over there to the right-hand side, or left-hand side. Now AvGeek has got the board back under control. For Andy with the cleaner stack could potentially utilize this opportunity and regain some of that lost lead. Tetris for Andy. AvGeek's down to the bottom. Props to her for surviving that.
Yeah.
Beautiful tuck over there from Andy. And another Tetris. 634 for Andy, 594 for AvGeek. Up top, we're closing in on transition, 475 for Fractal and 533 for Dog. Fractal's going to add a Tetris, and so is Dog. just under a 40,000 point lead.
522 transition for Fractal.
Tetris for Andy. We do got to keep in mind, Andy is ahead by a level and almost a level and a half.
That's going to be critical information if this continues. Where to play aggressive, where not to play aggressive.
There's a Tetris for Andy. Goes up to 731.
AvGeek had to pass a Tetris there.
Yeah, and Andy with a misdrop too. And that particular misdrop, early tuck misdrops are some of the most difficult to dig out of because they're just going to be costly.
And in dash, you can lose dash in those situations too. So your next piece is also going to be a mistake. Back at the top, we're only 2,000 point difference here, and Dog has a situation on the left where they will not get a Tetris.
We'll be able to still bring the stack down.
Fractal's going to take a larger lead now.
Fractal is also slightly ahead in lines too. About one Tetris ahead in terms of the pace of the game that's being played. Down at the bottom, 805 to now 793, separated by 11,000 points.
Here we go.
Another Tetris for Andy, goes up to 838.
This has been a tremendous half of the top 8 bracket here.
Nice job for Andy, recognizing the right placement there, but it is now J dependent. Can't find the J piece, finds the I piece instead, and these pieces are not right for Andy. That hole is
especially 27. This is where you have to go all in.
Just trying to find a way to bring the stack down.
37, possibly at a 37 with that line, and another one, and passes up both opportunities.
Just going to try and reset all the way down from the bottom. As a matter of fact, Andy looks like he's trying to get set up for the center well for some 29 play.
Oh, here we go. AvGeek's back in the lead. And don't forget at the top, 834, 705.
Can't get the pieces necessary. He was trying to go for the Z-spin tuck, but Andy's going to top it at 893. AvGeek at 939 takes game number 2, tying things up. But up top, 866 for Fractal, 715 for Dog. Dog with the center row setup is going to knock it down, and Fractal knocks down the right well. Tetris as well.
That is about as high as you want to get at 19 speed on DAS.
Couple of safe burns. Fractal is ahead in line slightly. There's another Tetris. 900 into 26. No Tetris for Dog, goes up to 785.
Fractal just feeling it right now.
One more Tetris and we will see that max out going into level 27. And there
it is, max yes.
Into level 27. Another Tetris.
And maybe some more here. Possibly 1.1.
Mathematically speaking, unless Dog gets some 29 play.
Oh, Dog missed drops. Fractal, keep it coming, keep it coming.
3 more is possible here. There's no bar. There it is.
Oh!
There's one. He's going to probably have to skim, so he's going to try and get one more. There's the 1.1 for Fractal. Dog can't really do too much here.
There we go.
1.1.
Oh, and the 5. And the 29.
Dog down by 300,000 points at level 28. All that he can do is just do his best to reach 29.
He's going to give it up there.
Here we go in
3, 2, 1, Tetris.
Fractal is at match point up top. Andy and AvGeek tied at the bottom.
AvGeek pressing down early for 19 points.
And you're going to already be forced to take some early burns here.
We have some donations here. Oh, wow. Zeb donated $200 to push us over $5,000, I believe, if we get that total soon. Thank you very much, Zeb. And a $50 donation from David. And our total is now currently at $5,250. So we have passed that $5,000 threshold. So we will be sending at least 2 players to Germany now with that prize pool. So thank you very, very much, viewers.
A little bit unfavorable pieces. Just going to be looking for a JP. Oh, covers up the dependency right as soon as the J piece comes in. Now this can get little bit tricky.
And I don't like Andy's tower, but AvGeek's situation is worse.
But despite having a worse situation for the moment there, AvGeek does find the next Tetris available.
And she's up by 5,000, so that's at the end of the day, that's what's most important.
And he goes for the quick tap. Had an interesting setup right there. Just in down stacking mode. Throwing pieces over to the left.
At the top, we got basically a tie game, 131 to 132. Like the adjustment from Dog, seeing the line piece coming up, makes the line piece dependency, and then immediately fills it in.
There is Tetris for Andy and Tetris for AvGeek. So 199 to now 140. AvGeek in the lead down at the bottom. 177 to 177 up top. As both players knocked down a Tetris. Dog in the lead by 2 singles.
You see how high they're playing up at the bottom. AvGeek, not with the triple opportunity with the L, decides to not take it and gets rewarded with the Tetris. So again, the aggression that you are used to in seeing with open style, rolling style, is translating to the DAS game.
It's definitely starting to pay off because AvGeek with a 100,000 point lead, and he's going to cut it down just a little bit around, you know, the 90,000 mark. And Dog was up a little high, able to still bring it down. We're just over the halfway mark for all of our players. 293 for Fractal, 277 for Dog, 198 for Andy, and 295 for AvGeek.
Ooh.
But Andy, all right, nice, gets the well
Got
open.
it. But now needs a line.
Gonna use that L piece instead.
Oh, what a
down,
relief.
and a Tetris is scored.
But down 100,000 points. Time to get the shovels out, get back to work. Dog down by about 2 Tetrises and has about 3 lines to burn this down to open the well back up. And gets the Tetris back to safety.
And he start trying to find some way to get back into this game because the lead has been heavily favored of AvGeek for the duration of this.
Yeah, AvGeek is just turned it on in this game. 5 Tetris difference.
No Tetris over there for Andy, so going to cut that down to 4. Oh, was 1 Mino shy, but great adjustment. Up top, Fractal having to do some burning and running into a drought, which is actually a little fortunate for Fractal because that means that Dog's not going to be able to use anything to really decrease the lead that he has built up so far, which is how a little bit ironic how that works. But oh my gosh, this is a 30+ piece drought.
38. Both players basically the same piece sequence.
We've ascended to now 40 pieces, and after
Tetris,
45,
both players. So that's how you handle a drought for both players there.
and you kind of got to feel a little bit for Dog there because he had the cleaner stack for the early majority, but since there was no long bar, he wasn't able to use anything to really chase down the lead that Fractal had built up. And now Fractal is almost up to 100,000 point lead, and down at the bottom, AvGeek is over 100,000 point lead on Andy as we close in on the level 19 transition.
The Knott brothers are using 18 to bank these leads. Bank your points at 18.
Andy, a little bit risky here. Only 4 lines to go before
Oh my goodness, tucking that high for
maybe
Andy.
early. Oh my gosh! Wait, what? Transition.
This is so high.
And
Gets it over. Oh.
Andy to stay alive. Fractal also in some trouble too, as all players have reached transition. That's 564 for AV, 473 for Andy, 505 for Fractal, and 409 for Dog. Dog with a couple of misdrops. Remember, he has to win this game. He's down 0-2.
Expertly done on all players. The old style was a lot of games would end right after transition, and all those boards were sketchy.
There was a dirty Tetris over there for Dog and a clean Tetris for Fractal. Fractal up by just about 3 Tetrises. And down at the bottom, Andy has closed the gap a little bit. Maybe he's going to try and reopen it up. And
Ooh.
Andy with a bit of a misdrop.
That's
Threw
not a
over there
bit.
to the left. And this can be solvable with some really good pieces. An eye piece would be a godsend here.
There
Maybe
we go.
another one. Gonna burn the triple, and Andy's clean just like that.
Huge leads on both boards.
Yeah, just over 3 Tetris leads for both. 97,000 in favor of AV. And 60,000 in favor of Fractal.
Good shift
bit of
there.
early shift there. Maybe didn't have dazzle on that eyepiece. So now Fractal is in danger. Dog now is starting to catch back up.
Down to a Tetris.
Fractal, beautiful flat bar burn. Would love the L piece. There it is. There's one. There's another. Going to go for the L flat. Set up a delay burn. Trying to get the holes.
Pretty
get access to
sawtooth.
holes. Needs to open up that right
Oh
side.
my goodness.
Now needs an eyepiece. If he gets it, he'll be able to
He's
burn.
saying, come on. He
Gets the eyepiece. Gets a second one. Beautiful burn sequence. A triple into a split double into another double.
He is still in the lead after all that.
And he's brought the stack all the way down to
My.
Also down at the bottom for Pixel Any AvGeek, separated by 37,000 points. Now up to 70,000, so just over 2 Tetrises.
So all those points they gathered at 18 are all crucial now.
Oh, another misdrop from Fractal. Dog, perfect opportunity, and Dog takes the lead with a Tetris now at 641. AV knocks down Tetris, goes up to 884. Andy trying to get Tetris ready. Couldn't use 2 eyepieces for a Tetris. Now it's
Fractal.
Tetris ready. Another Tetris for Andy.
Fractal playing flat, going for the dirty Tetris.
Slightly dirty here on row 2. Goes for the scam, knocks down a
Nice.
Tetris. And
Going for another.
Committed
Let's
for
go.
another one.
Let's do it.
There's another Tetris for Andy. 907 and now 918. AV had to take the triple, so not Tetris ready. He couldn't use either of those long bars. There was another Tetris there for
Oh,
Fractal.
my goodness.
And a Tetris for Andy as well.
We're
now
approaching
Andy's
29.
actually in the lead. 943 to now 931. Dog is also in the lead by 39,000 points, so just over a Tetris. AV can't find any success with these pieces. There's another Tetris for Andy.
The brothers have flipped the script on both games.
Andy now Tetris ready. 2 Tetrises available for both AvGeek and Andy.
for AV.
Andy's gonna have to set up for another one.
1 million points for Andy.
If Andy gets this next Tetris, AV will have to set up for 2. There's one for AV.
1 million points for AV.
Double maxed out. Andy going to have the advantage, but up top, there's a
They're
mission.
both playing.
9,000 points.
9,000. Single
Fractal
is out.
Look at this.
Fourth.
4,000 points.
Oh.
And Fractal can't get it. Dog stays alive. The brothers both taking simultaneous victories.
Wow. They were both behind and both came back.
Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, there was so much action going on there at one point, just hopping from board to board to board. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, Tetris.
And I'm a big fan of taking those breaks in between rounds. The last time there was the double max out game, and then the immediate next game there was a 50,000 point top out. So.
Oh, nice fits over there from Dog. Sorry, you know, it's kind of my thing.
Oh, yeah. You gotta call him when you see him.
All right, so 1 Tetris. Dog is the only one on the board that's scored
AvGeek
Tetris.
is
Yeah,
getting really uncomfortable
an
up there.
opening drought down at the bottom. And he found the eyepiece. AV, okay, great placements.
Not out of the woods yet. Still putting more weight on that well.
A nice 3 flat piece would help open that up. Well is open.
And the square piece is a godsend because that's the easiest piece to maneuver.
There it is, Tetris for AvGeek. So surviving an early scare there. I mean, that's truly one of the scariest things to experience as a player. You open with a drought.
But if you look at AvGeek's face, no pressure, just very stoic. Maybe you'll see a little mouth movement, but you know, total concentration.
Overhang being set up over there. Tetris going to be scored for AV. Fractal having to do some more burning. Does find a Tetris.
Holes.
Oh, decided not to go for the yes flat there.
With those holes there, you
yeah, and they're
burn.
evenly spaced, so they're actually a lot more difficult to deal with since they're evenly spaced, because if you put weight, if you place a piece, you're going to put weight on one hole. But does find a way to burn out of it.
But that's going to give Dog a Tetris and a half lead.
Andy, that is a 5 high bits, so that is not a bits.
It's a bits plus.
No brownie points for you. The brothers at 171 and 173.
They're not playing each other, Sharky.
Yeah, they're not playing each other.
Yet.
But I just thought it was interesting to point out how their scores are incredibly similar. And Fractal and AvGeek are at 115 and 137. AV, nice, taking the double there. We are running into another drought. Oh, wait, this is actually a potentially deadly one. Oh, great timing on that eyepiece. An L piece would be pretty ideal here. Okay, converts the dependency, opens up the well, and a Tetris is scored.
Nice. And again, in those pressure situations, I'm just looking at AV's face for any reaction whatsoever, and none.
The atmosphere is, oh, misdrop,
Yes,
two of them. And that first misdrop kind of like shocked AV, and the second one just was still trying to recover and didn't really have a great way to place that one. And we see it, no.
Yep.
Just going to take the triple. Still relatively close game, separated by just over a Tetris.
And Andy's getting a solve situation, going to burn about 5 lines to clear this up.
LRJ is wanted.
No Fractals at top.
Ice burns.
Needs a line. This is getting a little high. Takes a safety triple.
Yeah, good thing too, because that drought is coming in hot and fast.
Yeah,
has to take another triple.
The classic dash setup is to keep your pieces higher on the left so that you can get out of any situation with any piece on the right. That's the classic setup.
33-piece drought up top and a developing drought at the bottom. And
I didn't need the water. Our players need the water. Goodness.
We have too many Texas players up there because all 4 of these players are from Texas. 293 now for Andy. AV has caught up, and now both players are Tetris ready.
We can do this again. We have another 2 close games at once to call.
Yeah, nice adjustment. Intentionally setting up the overhang to execute that S-spin for Andy. And that skim allowed him to get Tetris ready and utilize the long bar.
Fractal's behind by 2 Tetrises.
Tetris for Dog. Excuse me.
What is this setup here? Okay.
Pace is worked out. It was definitely an interesting one.
That's an elite university education for Fractal.
Closing in on the level 19 transition. Down at the bottom, separated by 2 Tetrises, favor of Andy. Up top, separated by 2 Tetrises, favor of Dog. There's Tetris for Fractal. And we were almost tied at the bottom.
Yeah, it's,
separated by pushdown points at a moment.
AvGeek just not getting that line.
And this is scary because only 4 lines left till transition. Now 1. But that right side is open, so going to take the triple into a Tetris. 422 transition into 446.
AvGeek had to do that.
And Andy set up for, we have transitions up top, 508 for Fractal, 544 for Dog. Andy takes a triple, basically same thing AvGeek did earlier. 512 here at 136 lines. AV tournament life on the line. That left side is dangerous. The quick tap is hit, very crucial. And a Tetris.
Nice.
Great survival. Andy still with the lead though. Another Tetris for Dog, goes up to 593. Fractal not looking for an ideal piece to get Tetris ready. Doesn't want to isolate that column 9. Goes for the skim.
Yep.
And a Tetris to score for Fractal.
Here we go.
Andy with a nice quick tap over there on that Z. One piece is over, but now the left side doesn't really have too much of an access, so he has to take that triple.
AvGeek nailing the spin.
Andy
Again, we're almost tied.
And AvGeek has actually taken the lead. Andy burned himself out of being Tetris ready.
And Fractal's taking the lead. Kind of a reverse situation from the last game on both ends.
Tetrises for both AvGeek and Andy. 571 to now 591 down at the bottom, and 668 or 688 to now 702 up top.
4 clean games. This is amazing.
Maybe having to do a couple of skims. And AV, wait, hold on. Andy might still have the pace advantage because AV is slightly ahead in lines. About 2 Tetrises worth.
That's the difference in the score.
It's another Tetris for AV. See, that's the one thing that we got to keep in mind is, you know, there can be times when players are separated by different amount of lines.
And same thing up top. There's a 5 line disadvantage for Fractal and a half Tetris lead.
Dog is taking the lead back up top. Fractal, beautiful skim into a Tetris right there. 770 for Fractal, 762 for Dog down at the bottom, 669 for Andy.
Up top.
And a drought developing at the bottom as well. Andy survives, knocks in a Tetris, down by 43,000.
And with the lead already, AV looking to send this to a decider.
Andy having to take some burns, but the thing is, any lead is not safe. Even if AV goes into 29, 1 Tetris in the lead, Andy can get that 29 Tetris if necessary. There's another Tetris for Fractal, up to a 1 Tetris lead. Dog is behind in lines.
And AV is up 3 Tetrises now heading into 27.
Fractal, several misdrops in a row. Needs this eyepiece.
Gets it over, but the board's sold out.
902 now for Fractal, 840 for Dog. Well is open for Dog, needs a eyepiece now. Beautiful triple, but not Tetris ready, was 1 Mino shy. Dog with the small adjustment last second. Andy is in trouble, gets the eyepiece over just barely.
Oh.
Too much action going on. Fractal still in trouble. And look at this survival.
1 Tetris difference, Dog can take the lead soon.
Andy now being forced to go aggressive. There it is, dirty Tetris for Andy.
Tetris for Dog takes the lead, 1,700 points.
And AvGeek goes into 29, 962. There's a Tetris for Andy.
Look at this 29 play from AvGeek.
Andy needs a Tetris and a couple more lives. Wait.
There it is.
Hold on. He needs, he could get it. He could close it out here. He needs 2 eyepieces. There's 1. Dog takes the game on top. And, oh my God! To eliminate AvGeek. The skim into the Tetris, 992. Andy advances to top 4. And Dog with the max up top, the only max out of these 4 players, brings us to a decider.
Whew. We told you Pixelandy does amazing things on 29 and DAS, and we just saw it.
It's exactly as I called. I mean, I guess that could be a commentator's curse, but I said that AvGeek needed to be go into 29 more than a Tetris in the lead, and
that was the difference.
Wasn't enough. All right, we do have our decider now underway, and Broden opener for both.
Clotris.
Oh, nice.
Here we go. Here we go.
Wait, what?
Are you kidding me?
They both adjusted the same way, but okay, we did differ. The fact that they both adjusted at the same time is kind of wild. But burns are being forced.
Simul Tetris.
And Fractal was ready for that Tetris. Dog was not. But he still finds Tetris on the next long bar. Fractal's just been doing a great job making sure that his board's Tetris ready. Nice tucks over there for Dog.
Fitz, you missed it. I barely saw it at the end.
Ooh.
Fractal, after that Fitz, is a little proud of himself. Now he's in major cleanup mode.
Able to get the O piece over. And looks like he'll be fine, but the small lead that he had just from having just slightly more efficient opener is all but gone now. As a matter of fact, it's in Dog's favor.
It's very gone, and Dog's about to widen that with a Tetris once the line comes.
There is a Tetris for Dog, but a hole has been generated in Fractal.
Dirty Tetris. That's how you deal with your dirt. Another one. Keep it on row 4. Why not? I'm a former world champion.
I can tell you why not. This is a decider.
No.
It's brought it down to row 2, but column 7, if I'm counting correctly.
And the ghost of Dog is continuing to do well.
Dog is back. Looks like we got a small drought developing.
And another dirty Tetris. This is how you downstack, Sharky.
And another Tetris, and that
Wow,
gets
why not
access
four?
to the hole down at the bottom. And Dog just unable to find any success with these long bars.
That's one thing you want to tell your viewers at home is don't try this at home. Don't go for 4 dirty Tetrises. You're not Fractal.
189 to now 183. No Tetris over there for Dog.
Fractal's still not comfortable.
Oh, that L piece is going to be great. Going to go for the burn. Holding out. Looks like he got a bit of indecision there.
Oh.
Would love. Oh, that I piece is going to be great. And L piece, I believe, is what's needed for the tuck. And now I piece dependent, but is also.
And he gets it.
Now
I
he's Tetris
swear.
Fractal this one's not a dirty one, but this is a center one, and it's a well transfer. 219 now 252.
I don't know how Fractal does it. Every time he gets one of those line dependencies.
He is not happy with this.
No, but
another Tetris will be scored, but the long bar dependency in column 2 will have to be addressed. He's asking RNG to stop. And, well, gave him a long bar, so maybe his cries for help were heard. Fractal, being polite, said thank you.
If you're going to complain about bad RNG, you thank the good RNG.
Yeah, you got to thank the good RNG, or else RNG's going to be like, oh, you're not grateful? How about a 50p Stroud? Please don't, RNG, by the way.
So 1 Tetris difference here.
345 to now 291. Both players back in a established board. A drought is forming. Nothing major.
Again?
It's nothing major. It's only 15.
Just
15.
Now Dog having to do a couple burns. That's going to allow this lead to shrink a bit.
Tetris for Fractal. It's going to take a skim for Dog over here. And there's the Tetris for Dog. Dog holding on to this about 1 Tetris lead, almost 1.5. As we're closing in on level 19. The final transition of this game. Or this match, rather.
That grip from Fractal is just so intriguing.
Burns are going to be forced on players. That's a lot of jagged pieces heading towards Fractal's stack, but he still finds a way to manage. Both players knock down Tetrises. 3 Tetrises available for Fractal. 4 available for Dog with perfect play. Now 3 available for him as well.
So we're looking at that 500.
Yeah, we're looking at a 500 for Dog. Potentially a 500 for Fractal if he does find both Tetrises. There's one. Nice 5 below over there from Dog.
506.
Well, it's open. Yeah, 506 transition for Fractal and a triple. Respectable 520 for Dog.
So half Tetris difference at the transition.
Double into a Tetris for Dog and a Tetris for Fractal. So now we're separated by under a Tetris.
This is what we want in a decider in the top 8.
Tetris for Fractal into the lead. Dog takes a couple of burns. Now Tetris ready. And a Tetris for Dog, taking the lead right back, but then Fractal says, no, I want that lead.
This is finals worthy. All 5 of these games.
582 to now 575. Well is open for both, but now how long do they wait? Not too long. Dog had to use both of those long bars to fill in the left, but a Tetris is still scored.
When that third one comes.
605 to now 609. Tetris for both. Still separated by 5,000 points. Dog, great timing on those pieces. Fractal knocks down a Tetris, but now this awkward gap in the center is going to be dealt with. And Dog goes for the quick tap, nails it.
Nice.
Makes the adjustment for the O, and now Dog is Tetris ready. But the drought seems to be developing. Good quick tap over there from Dog. Takes the triple, respecting the RNG. Tetris for Dog, but Fractal burned out of it.
He had it 2 minutes short.
But Fractal found the next one. 673 to now 699. There's another Tetris for both.
Oh, this is razor thin here.
Fractal in the lead by just under a Tetris.
It's really who's going to make the mistake first.
Both of these players are
Tetris.
scoring Tetrises at the same time. They're failing to utilize long bar.
In the sequence.
And then they'll, oh, nice. Dog is Tetris ready, but small misdrop.
He's still going to get the Tetris. He needs it now. He gets it.
Both players get the Tetris. Dog now having to do some down stacking. Fractal is now Tetris ready.
Yes.
There it is, Tetris for Fractal, solidifying a over 1.5 Tetris lead. Dog now Tetris ready, so is Fractal.
It's reminiscent of the Pasadena finals.
Dog knocks down Tetris,
nice.
So does Fractal. Dog down by just under 2 Tetrises, but Tetris ready, and so is Fractal. Tetris for both.
Again. Oh my goodness, so
832 to now 884. Dog is set up for another Tetris, and he's able to capitalize off of that long bar.
Short.
Fractal, nice.
He said, "Don't
takes
drown
the skim
me."
instead of going for the triple. Another Tetris going to be scored from Dog.
Got it.
And another Tetris from Fractal. Dog needs Fractal to make one mistake here.
There's not much time left to make a mistake. We're down to 20 lines to 29.
There's another Tetris for Fractal. Dog had to burn out of Tetris readiness there. And Dog intentionally sets up a long bar dependency. Tetris for Fractal, Tetris for Dog. There's the max out for Fractal. Dog, Tetris ready. Both players knocked out a Tetris. Dog might have to.
Last level,
he's going center well. He's going to have to try and go for one extra.
Here is. There's
both players
one.
knocked down 2 Tetris.
1 million points for Dog.
Even he needs Fractal to make a mistake, and he has to get 2. And then some.
He makes the triple there.
And Dog has to try and find a way to build up here.
Building something crazy.
Has to.
Fractal can't believe it.
Dog.
1.1 for Fractal. 29 play.
He's down by 100,000 points. Fractal takes the decider and advances to top 4. King, take it away.
Thank you, Sharky and Chris. What a phenomenal match we just saw. Round of applause one more time for that match between Fractal and Dog. It was amazing to watch. And the match before that was just as amazing as well. I got AvGeek here, AV top 8 finish here. You know, I've known you for a while. You know, we've had jokes. We've had a fun variety with your name. Why don't you tell me what AV really means?
If you ask the king, I'm another victim. But really, it's aviation. I'm a student pilot right now, finally actually getting to explore that side of me. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of money too.
I can imagine. So, you know, coming here to Jonas Cup, you've been playing online, you've been appearing at the World Championships as well. Talk about our run throughout Jonas Cup. It's the inaugural one, DAS owner. You've been a DAS main. I know you've been playing around with rolling too. How does it feel to be competing with some of the best in the world and some of the legends like you did with Quaid?
It feels right. I came here to make people know my name. I wanted 3 maxes, I got 3 maxes. I wanted top 8, I made top 8. I did everything I wanted to. Sitting around for 7 hours yesterday after qualing was really rough. And then I got to play a good friend in Zeno. And I came in here today on 3 hours of sleep and said, all right, let's see how we do with Quaid. Got through him. And Andy was the one player who's making me real nervous. He was the one player I wanted to avoid, and I had to deal with him here in the quarters. And then I played the best set I've ever played. The worst game was at 770 and 23. And then I got back 3, back 1 off. And my first ever live competition max out.
Absolutely great achievements that you've pulled off. Let's talk about that final game, game 4, toe-to-toe, down to the wire. It looked like you were going to pull it out. And then Andy, you know, incredibly sets up that Tetris into 29 and finishing it out. You know, we saw your reaction. You know, were in the moment feeling heartbroken, or did you feel like you gave him everything you got?
I gave him everything I got. I knew going into this that Andy is just the best DAS 29 player, and that I would have to try to scrape something together. So I managed to get a couple lines every game I took to kill screen. But on that last game, going into post, I knew I was well behind. I knew I had to do everything in my power to catch up, and I did. I got ahead right there at the end, and then I had to take some burns in 28. And I knew as soon as I died with a one-off and looked over at Andy's score, he had 920 into 28. I knew that was wraps for me. And I'm not mad. I'm not upset. He's just better. That doesn't mean I can't try.
I think you did good a job here to try to hear the audience there. You said you wanted to come and make a name for yourself. I think you've done even more than that. So congratulations to you, AvGeek, on a fantastic job. Top 8 for AvGeek, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations. And now we're going to bring in Dog. I think Dog is around. Come on down, Dog. Come in. You know, Dog, we interview pretty much all the time. Top 8, you know, Vandy had said earlier, top 4. You never do worse than top 4. But you're facing Fractal in DAS, which is a little bit different. You know, talk real quick about, you know, how much time you've been putting into playing DAS, and then, you know, coming into facing Fractal. What were your thoughts?
I mean, yeah, DAS was like, it wasn't a main focus, but like, it's kind of just been like on a resurgence lately. So I did sign up for like DAS Masters and stuff like that in like DAS Champions League. So yeah, DAS has definitely been something I've, you know, kind of been like doing on the side here and there, but no, I definitely have been practicing for this tournament. So honestly, I'm actually happy with how I played. You know, what was it? Yeah, 800s every game, 900 max out. Like, it was, honestly, that set was definitely the best set that I've ever played with DAS. And yeah, it was pretty insane. You know, Fractal, he was able to clutch it out. It was honestly kind of crazy considering that I feel like this tournament, like, the droughts have been really bad. But like, it's great that we both were able to like overcome them. And yeah, it was a great set. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I think it comes to a testament of showing, you know, the power and the strength that you all have, the endurance that you can to manage the tough droughts and the seas that you're dealing with. You know, being at one of these live events, we've seen you in your progression. You were just at the World Championships facing Alex T, and you just said that this was probably one of the best DAS matches you've ever played. Do you think that the DAS resurgence will continue on, and we're going to see a wider group of maybe new players now coming into getting a chance here at Jonas Cup?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think the Jonas Cup, you know, it might become, in my opinion, just below the World Championships in the calendar year in terms of events that you should go to. So yeah, I think this will definitely continue, and hopefully the skill ceiling just gets higher and higher.
And will you be looking to come back for Jonas Cup next year?
Yeah, for sure.
There you go. That is the two-time world champion, top 8 finalist. This is Dog. He'll be watching his brother Andy try to avenge him shortly. Congratulations, Dog, on making top 8. Chris and Sharky, we'll throw it back to you.